Well, welcome back. As I promised, Conlanging. I promised that we're gonna be doing Conlanging, and ooh, hold on, OBS isn't automatic exactly. Come on. There we go. So, to give you a little backstory, this is pronounced hts. That's because this is a joke lang, as I said, and to prove this, I'm just gonna show you some pictures. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. So, for example, umartiedach, excuse me for my pronunciation. So this used to mean roundabout because back then, joke lang. It wasn't actual proto language or anything. It was a joke language, and this was like after some evolutions, which well, they are technically here. Ignore my terrible sense of humor back then. I mean, this was like a year ago at this point. And here's the first important thing, right? You see this very interesting sentence. So, dae, if I remember correctly, dae meant like two words, or dae kumam meant. Oh, kumam was like a really good. Dae was two words. Or no, that's mur, because it was okay. Oh, dae kumam is really good. My bad. So here, dae kumam, that meant really good. And here's I went. Usamauch. Now, back then, this language wasn't agglutinative at all, or well, not at all what case markings were. It's more of the fact that it. The thing is that back then the language, since it was joke language, the verbs like weren't actually suffix or affix at all. It was just triconsonantal roots, which I'm just gonna show you an example what I mean. So right here you can see usamauch, which is I went. Well, I go was smk as a root, and if you inserted u, how was it? My bad, I forgot. Usamauch, my bad, not usamauch, but if you inserted this like into the correct spots, then that meant that it was first singular and that it was a past perfective. Past perfective means that it was in the past and it was also finished. It was a finished action because there's perfective, which is finished, imperfective, which is ongoing, habitual, which is like a regular occurrence, think like used to or often. So anyway, with that out of the way, I'm checking if there's any other. Don't care about that. Yeah, this was like some kind of test. Then I split them off and did some very weird stuff. And remember East. Take a good look at East. Now, obviously you can see how I could actually get them to look different, like West being Ümelkide and East being Imalzet, which I think I'm pretty proud actually that I managed to somehow make them different in like, I don't know, 30 changes or 15 changes, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, and this is the first screenshot of like the current version. It's a tad bit different if you look at it. There is no aw. There is also the word and your symbols are completely different, and that's all I can see as of right now. But the numbers are up to date. There's also like this big ass chart. Don't care about that. So anyway, now that this is out of the way, I can finally remove this, and now let's go actually Conlang. So right now, this like the state of this guy is a pro language. It's a proto language, kind of, and you can see that I actually went as far as creating separate symbols for writing, which pretty proud of, especially the numbers. Like some of them really good, really look good, like utsot and something like ramkast or mur. So these look pretty decent. Here's the number. If you're wondering why there's a big space, that's because it used to have like a ginormous space for whatever reason, God knows why. But take a look at this. So there was gender agreement and animacy agreement, which Not sure what made me do it. Though there weren't any articles, which I'm pretty proud that I didn't, because articles are one heck of a thing to do. Like, they're very annoying. Even though I speak a language like Hungarian has articles, I really don't like articles that much. So it didn't have one, but it did have a gender agreement for some reason, and you can see that a bunch of them have like two, and that is because there was also vowel harmony. That's why these guys are colored. So the neutral vowels were e and o. There was u and a, which were back, and a and e, which were front. Obviously, front and back cannot co-occur, but back and neutral, front and neutral, those can co-occur. So that's basically the little like story of it. There's also like this very weird way I did verb conjugation. Like, I did use reduplication, which, by the way, I absolutely hated reduplication. Not sure why I actually decided to include it. So, anyway, there's transitivity, so I wasn't really creative with defining what has an object and what has a subject. I would just said transitive or intransitive, which is pretty lazy to be honest. So we have some base verbs, some base nouns, some other stuff which I didn't classify, like a lot or and or like or, yeah, or question words, which are their own things again. Anyway, ignoring that. So there's also this old East. I'm gonna explain it in 1 minute. So anyway, obviously here are the examples, right? I'm running with the shelter. Now, funny thing, this was supposed to be I'm running inside the shelter, but kededum is the instrumental, and I misinterpreted it because I mark instrumental with I and S here, but inessive as I and E, and I probably misinterpreted I and S as inessive and just used kededum. Doesn't matter. Oh, no spoilers yet. No spoiler. Don't go back. I already see you going back. Don't do that. You will get there. So anyway, so we have some pretty nice little sentences. Also, if you noticed it, we have a very minimalistic phonetic inventory. I mean, we have consonants h, r, t, d, s, m, k, semi-vowels w, y, and vowels e, I, a, u, o, a. Which I don't know what the order is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to like match up with the characters, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's go back here. So you can see these like changes. These are sound changes and grammatical changes. Whatever I was smoking here, I don't know. Not sure why there's a new line here. Also, I used SCA2 back then. Right now, I'm using Lexurgy. I'm using Lexurgy to do the sound changes. Anyway, you can see like pretty interesting sound changes or grammatical changes on west, on the east. Also, there was technically it was that writing always stays up to date. If you're planning on conlanging, don't do that. Writing is never, almost never completely up to date. It's almost always off by a little. Now, to be honest, West was like alright, but in all honesty, I like the East dialect more. And I still remember this, right? Well, that's because I also did Modern East. and Modern East consists of like 29 sound changes, which are half realistic. And then like there's one grammatical change at the end, which is like numeral 2 suffixes into the dual number. Anyway, let's go examples, okay? So here was the prologue. So let's just use the last, because I think that is the craziest one. Actually, let's look at all, okay? So I'm not gonna pronounce these, but you can see, for example, the first one became Okosekal her Yehuv Kedadum. So there was some fusing. We had stuff like Axolor, Okuha, Okod, Onkasema, for example. You can see that M turned into an M due to nasal assimilation. E turned into E. word final h went to k, which is interesting because gender still exists, but now it's even more irregular because you got talk and ta-ha, which is the number 2, and it also agrees in gender. That's the funniest thing. But that's not the only thing, because we also got Old East, which used to be named East 1, but ignore that. I just renamed it to Old East, which you can see it's much more agglutinative. So this like 5 words sentence turned into Okko sekom ker je kim kettum. Pretty decent, right? Excuse me, I have to drink. Anyway, and then you got like, for example, this one. By the way, funny thing, this here, this was supposed to be separate, but I low-key forgot to fuse them. Or, well, I mean, it was supposed to be fused, but originally I forgot to fuse them, so they're supposed to look like this, actually. So, and then you can also see omok. Now, what happened? Where on East, it was like, well, quote-unquote genders to get lost. I'm gonna put this, so, 2025, Zach note. Well, actually, I should use Xavier because that's the current name I use, but I'm Zach, still on my YouTube channel, so if I'm Zach, no, it didn't get lost. And you'll see in a minute what I mean. But I'm not gonna spoil or anything, alright? So anyway, what happened is that one of the sound changes, it was that word finals TCV goes to CVC right before word final vowel loss, which caused omka, which was the word for apple, to go to, well, actually it was omko by the time because o fused into o, but it was omko, and that caused omko to go to omok, and only then did word final vowel loss happen. So it turned into omok sem. Now, yeah, you can see that, oh well, sema, that turned into sem, so it obviously genders got lost, right? Well, there is something I want to highlight, and that is only that can only be seen if I go to the modern East dialect, well, language rather, because it has a like a bit of a new grammar. And so, see, here the numbers, they all were distinct, right? Well, everyone, brace yourselves, because you're about to see a war crime. Now, this is going to be only Old East. May I remind you, not even Modern East. This is Old East. Look at the numbers. See anything different? Maybe the fact that, you know, the the numbers are completely messed up. And that is the way that they ended, see? So something like 0. 0 used to be mur, mura, murd, murda, and murdo. Because da used to be like the inanimate thing. I don't know why I choose da. It was like t to da, or just da gets like added. God knows what the decisions behind that was. But da went to t. So you ended up with murt, murt, and simurda, and murdo. Those went to murod, which went to murot. So, yeah, right? Genders get lost. No, they don't. And then there are numbers that actually got fused into just one, like 3 is komtut in every case, or 4 is skotot in every case, or 10 is kirat, or 12 is kemat, or 13 is utsot, which is very funny because it absolutely didn't change from its base form. Like, it was so good that it didn't even have to change. And you can see why, because like look at 3, which is komtut right now. This used to be homtut, homtuta, homtud, homtuda, homtudo. We all know that d goes to t, so this also became similar to homtut, homtuta, homtuto. Then word final vowel loss, because these are not CCV structures, so it turned into homtut, 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 homtut. Right? Same for 10, which is hirad. Same for 12, which is kemat. 13, utsot. But then there are some that have so weird patterns. Oh, this was fused. Oh, don't worry, this isn't. This isn't fused, because this was fused because A went to O, but A didn't go to any front version of or like something like that. No, 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 no. It stayed. So we had remar, remart, remarot, but we also have remarat, which is very funny because technically the gender marking on words technically doesn't even exist anymore because word final vowels, may I remind you, were lost. Those were lost. So it's completely memorization. Which, you know what it reminds me of? Oh yeah, that's right, German. German has so many weird aspects of gender, as well as Italian, at least according to one of my friends. He said that Italian is like so random because of like how genders are like so ultra specific. I'm not taking his word 100% for sure. I don't speak Italian. I learned Russian at school and English, of course, and Hungarian, but that's my mother tongue. Anyway, also you can see this very weird chart for the pronouns. Yeah, the funny thing is that the low-high vowel distinction actually stayed. So the third person animate feminine is either meras or meros. Due to it begin old times, it was merasa and merosa. I think merasa and merosa. No, it was mersa and mersa, right? So meras, meros. Great, right? And then we got ake, okay, which was ache, oche, or acheya, ocheya, or acheya, acheyo, which all fused into ake or okay, which luckily you don't have this. But again, see how weird it is. Like now, although there's ordinals, which are pretty standard because they only like followed two whole patterns, one for low and one for high vowels, and the genders fused. So it it also became affixing. So EPA, I guess. I don't know. Also, it has a bit of a different consonant and vowel inventory. Obviously, the vowel inventory, the only thing that's different is that it's missing a. That's it. But the vowel inventory is the consonant inventory is very interesting. Like m, n, t, k, s, v, y, r. Great. Absolutely, definitely naturalistic. Now, I haven't got to actually making other things, but one important note, and this is where I actually start working. East actually fused. It actually fused case markers. It fused plural markers. Other numbers moved to person. Okay, that doesn't matter. Verb tenses fuse onto verbs. Okay, so I still have a lot of things to do. Also, minute, I forgot to open some other tabs, which I'm gonna open really quick. Please don't click off. I swear to God, this is just temporary. 1 minute. These ones, yes, I need these ones. I need these ones, and I also add the at the end. Okay. Just because I don't want y'all to see. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't want y'all to see my search bar and shit. That's apparently not the good idea. All right, I'm back. Here you go. So it's just that I opened SCA2. Oh, I forgot that. Oopsies, my bad. So if you don't know, SCA2 is a really good sound changer for beginners. I use Lexurgy because it's a bit more complicated, but it can do much more. But SCA2, if you're a beginner Conlanger, this is perfectly fine. So anyway, so this is where I actually start working. So here you can see that I started splitting up pronouns into cases. That's because I'm supposed to do them, like I really know to myself that I should do more cases. Now there is a bunch of cases. There's nominative, accusative, genitive, causal final, I think, instrumental, commentative, locative, inessive, superlative, terminative, and vocative. Which is very funny because vocative, due to some kind of rule or I don't know, doesn't exist in the inanimate, which kind of makes sense because it's either like a hierarchy, okay, I'm not pronouncing that. It's either that type of stuff, like a hierarchy or something, or that generally that things that aren't alive, you don't call them, you don't say that table, oh table, you don't say that, you just say table. It doesn't matter. Also, there's a weird way I invented adjective forming, whatever that is. I don't know. Don't ask me. Anyway, let's start to actually work. So first off, I gotta get all the cases over here. And I'm just gonna quickly spread them up. I actually may make it like 2 separate ones. If you all want, by the way, an explanation of the cases, feel free to ask. I don't bite. For now. For now, I don't bite. These are 7 columns, right? Yeah, sure. Just, you know, insert a bit more columns to the right so that I actually have like space. So we're gonna move these over here, these over here. What? Okay, there we go. I was a bit skeptical, like why the hell did it stop? So here's all the cases, and I should probably just copy over because technically they're pretty much the. Oh wait, hold on. I have to remove the outline here. So they're pretty much the same because they're the cases like fused on. When did the case? I think they fused on before the plural marker. Yes. So they fused on before the plural marker. So they're gonna go before the plural marker. Which is very good because I can just like track like the evolution of all of them and just, you know. Oh, I might need actually. I might actually need more space. Okay, you know what? Let's undo all this. So, what did I want to say? I have to track the evolution of all of the case markers actually, like all of them. Now, obviously, some of them are gonna fuse, which, thank God. I don't want to do the distinction. Like most of them are the same, except like you have sometimes the lower high. But I think the gender distinction can just get lost, right? Yeah, because they're not. Oh no, never mind. I just noticed that it's not the case in this one. We got Océan and Oswa, which will go to. Oh wait, I don't know how. Oh, I kind of forgot how SCA. Hold on. So if I say that vowel gets lost, word finally, and then I input something like sea, or actually let's be normal Osea or Asea. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Osea. Okay, it only removes once. Okay, good. Control tab. Yes. So this will be. Wait. How does Osea go? Oh wait, O is a neutral vowel. Never mind. Didn't say anything. So you got Osea, but this one will be Osao. So Ose and Osao. So great. There's still gonna be fucking gender distinctions. I fucking love that. Can you tell I'm actually losing my mind? Okay, you know what? I have a better idea. What if we just trace every single one of them? So I'm just gonna swiftly. Oh no. No. Wait, why am I making a separate chart for them? I don't need it yet because. But I could think about the future though. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep the nominative because that's just very straightforward. How do I do this? Because I should trace all of them, like how they evolve over over time. Probably should trace that. So yeah, but I don't know how because SCA2 can't really treat tabulators properly. Like a lot of times, like if you say Osea and then you type, oh, like fucking hell, I have to copy a tabulator from somewhere. Is this selector menu by the way visible? It's not. Okay. I have to somehow get a tabulator. Oh, what am I doing? I can just copy this. Oh, okay. It's gonna. Okay. Here. Copy that out. See, can do this. And if I type the tabulator and then like it will treat it like very weird, in a very weird way. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Like sometimes it just breaks. Like I don't know how it works, to be honest, but it just sometimes breaks. So that's why I rather not use tabulators, especially because you get like these long distance ones, and all of these are just tabulators, right? And I can try. I mean, it doesn't stop me from trying. It's just it's gonna look like this. And see, this is what I'm talking about. See this? That that first final vowel was supposed to kick in. It didn't. This is what I'm talking about. So tabulators don't really work properly. So I will just have to do them one by one, which is gonna be a painfully long, I'm talking painfully long procedure. But I can't really avoid it, so... Also, wait, why am I copy-pasting this? I should be copy-pasting the sound changes first. So what is 7? Oh, subject fuses onto verbs. Okay, I don't care. Wait, is it only subject? Oh, hold on. Then my example is wrong. Because I'm... Axoror... Okuko... What? Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh... Hold on. I don't think it's supposed to fuse onto this because this is the auxiliary. Okay, you know what? Let's just change the sound changes that technically it fuses onto the auxiliary. So, fuses onto verb. Or tense marker. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm talking gibberish. Or tense marker if there is one. Which should technically be an auxiliary verb. It's not just a tense marker, but... Don't mind me. So anyway... Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to copy out the sound changes over here. And boom. And now we can actually start doing the... Okay, there we go. Oh yeah. Apply. Because now it works. So... Ooh, those case markers are looking weird. Oh wait, hold on. I should actually copy the noun preposition chart first, like over here, except that I have to recolor it because I like this color distinction. I learned it from a really nice YouTuber called Biblaridian. I can't remember the name correctly, never mind, but basically they're also like a linguistics guy. They also Conlang a lot, and I learned that yeah, color distinctions look good. They just look good. Anyway, that means that I can go ahead, copy this output, and copy paste it over here. Fuck. Copy paste it over here. Why did it split it up? Jesus Christ. No, it removes the spaces. God damn. No. I don't want that to happen. Okay. Alright. Control Shift V. And so these ones fuse horizontally. So, oh my god, there's still distinctions. Oh dear Jesus. Oh my god, it literally stayed the same. I love that. Alright. Alright. This is gonna be a long and tedious thing, by the way, so if you have the attention span of a fly, then you don't have to keep watching. But I appreciate if you keep watching. Obviously, it's an honor to see people watching me do this, even though it's a very boring thing to do. Anyway, next column. Boom. Apply, and ooh, Jesus Christ. Oh, this is gonna look very weird. Okay, Control Shift V. So, first off, paste this over here. Also, I'm just gonna fuse the ones that are like, you know, the same. How did that stay as Osea? Hold on. I'm starting to think that this guy isn't working properly. Yeah, no. That I is supposed to be gone. Okay. Well, great to know that the sound changer is tweaking again. Seems like I have to do a bunch of manual stuff. Great. Oh my fucking god. Okay, you know what? Just delete. I don't care. Oh my fucking god. Jesus. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna... Why can I not unmerge them? Thank you. So, here's... I'm just gonna do column by column. And probably gonna copy back the old one. There we go. And I'm just gonna do them like column by column rather than doing them all at once. Because apparently then not merge, unmerge. So then it's just gonna break, right? So it's not gonna work. Unmerge, and let's do these. Oh, I forgot this one. So I'm gonna do these column by column. Great, even slower. Which is good because auto mh, auto mh, auto m. Wait, no, hold on. No, because these ones, remember, these ones still change. These ones still change. Did I even paste in the? Yes, I did. Okay. Hopefully it keeps this. No, the fuck it doesn't. Great. Actually, what I could do is just insert ends there because it's not gonna do shit with that. Because it cannot treat it treats capital and lowercase as like a separate character, which I mean sometimes can be good if your romanization is like Dothraki. Is it Dothraki? No, it's not Dothraki. It's one of those Conlangs in one of those like famous books. It's basically just that it uses a very weird romanization where some characters are romanized with like capital like letters, which sure, I mean it's not my style, but it seems a bit weird, you know, and a bit unreadable. So anyway. And also do these ones. No! My fucking I keep pressing the wrong buttons. Anyway, got this. Alright, and now we can fuse the same ones. Hey, I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be just a t. Oh, hi JG. Hi there. You're the first one to ever say something in my live, so anyway, good day to you or good night or whatever it is at your how are you? Tell me about your day or something. It's really just anything. Okay. In the meanwhile, okay, nice. And this is the next one. Did I do the other column? Oh, just saw the stream. Ah, I see. Okay. What are we making? This is one of my older projects. It's a Conlang technically. It used to be much more complex. I kind of explained it at the beginning of the stream. It doesn't matter if you weren't there. I don't really care. I can explain. It used to be like rather like a joke. So it wasn't like a proto language. It was rather just like, you know, made up on the spot mostly. Now I transformed it into like a more genuine language. You can see I went as far as making it an alphabet and all kinds of like prepositional or postpositional stuff. Wait, I call this hold on. Hold on, this is not good. This is adpositions, my bad. Anyway, it's still kind of low quality, like gender agreement out of thin air and very, very random. It was also kind of lazy because I just made transitivity like regular, like basic transitivity. Anyway, doesn't matter. Uh, so I kind of just started evolving it like really back then, and like back then I started evolving it and looks agglutinative. Yeah, it is. It is mostly agglutinative. Unless if you look at like modernist, it's kind of like a continuation I like made like I don't know last night. Like I was working on it for like 2 hours. But if you look at the examples, it kind of just turns fusional. Like just to show you, oldest was okkosekom kerjekim ketum and modernist is oski yekto. So I kind of went a bit far, but doesn't matter. Um, Either way, I'm making a sheet right now for the old East, which was the original. Well, it used to be called East 1 because I didn't know how many sound changes I wanted. And then in the meanwhile, I started like working on other languages, like other families, and then I started doing this and started doing that, and you know, all these funny things. And I kind of forgot about this, and suddenly I just revisited it, and I was like, God damn, I need to work on this. So last night I made like this for under like 2 or 3 hours. I made this like new language part, like the modernist. Now currently I'm making oldest again, which and so that is what I'm working on right now. And yeah, it's mostly agglutinative. Uh, so anyway, I should also do the rest of these. Also, I use SCA2 because originally I also used SCA2. Right now, I rather move to Lexergy, but I'm not gonna make Lexergy like on stream because making that is a really long procedure. Like even though I became pretty familiar with Lexergy, so organized. Any inspiration from Natlangs? I mean, it's a teeny tiny based on Hungarian, which is my mother tongue, by the way. Well, I mean, it's not that much. It's rather like because of like a little backstory. You have to know a bit of Hungarian culture and meme culture to this. But anyway, it's teeny tiny based on Hungarian, but other than that, it's pretty random. And about my sheet organization, back then my sheets used to look very chaotic. So back then they used to look horrible. And then I started watching this YouTuber called Biblaredion's videos. I started watching his videos and I saw how organized he keeps, like mostly organized he keeps his stuff. Now obviously he only used like one word column. I like to keep my words like separate in categories. But I liked how he kept everything pretty like I like how he kept everything pretty organized and like it was laid out. Like this is the org chart, like this is how I used to do charts for pronunciation. Like look at this is terrible, right? But then you look at here, this is what I use nowadays, right? Like I just take a consonant chart, a vowel chart, actually properly label them. Also don't mind the numbers. Don't mind them. I swear to God, nothing funny happened there. So yeah, I kind of took inspiration from other YouTubers, mostly. Quick make a joke. Kate Harmad. That's all I can say. Yeah, Babes the Pro. Ah yeah, I can agree. Although, I was watching like his, there's this series he's making right now. It's called, Case Study, I think. Something along the lines of that. Anyway, he's making that series, right? And in that, he actually develops the proto-language and the modern language at the same time, which, in my honest opinion, I couldn't do. I cannot do that. I will probably just, like, I like making the proto-language first and then doing the more modern and child languages another. But, you know, everyone does it their own way, so who am I to judge? Right? Everyone has their own little methods. Anyway, in the meanwhile, I got a bit off-tracked, my bad. I should be doing the sound changes in the meanwhile. Oh dear. Oh no. These don't look good. Yeah, sometimes it just turns tam into t, which, sure. Although it only does it in feminine, which I don't understand why. What is it in feminine? Oh, it's doigt, and then probably something happened there. Oh, okay. I'm struggling with evolving the language in general. It's one part that always breaks language. Yeah, same. I also have problems with evolving languages. A lot of times when I'm evolving languages, I realize that goddamn I screwed up. Like there's this project I'm working on. It's the Kosarene. Oh god, the name is complicated. Doesn't matter. It's also a pro language. It's a language family, and I think I like scrapped it like I don't know 4 times already. So I restarted like a shit ton of times, and so but right now I'm at a pretty decent stage of that language, although I don't intend on releasing it to the public as much right now because it's kind of first off it's kind of under the works, so it's still pretty unfinished, and at the same time it's kind of like a more secret project of mine. This one is a joke lang. It was already public pretty early on, so I don't care. I can show it to everyone because I don't really intend on using it as much, so I'm probably just gonna leave it as is. Also, the sound changes on this aren't very interesting. Like even if you look here, like wait, what is the oh, it just ignores the equal sign. That's funny. Anyway. Oh, valid rules found. Oh, because it does valid rules. Okay, makes sense. Anyway. What? Huh? Oh, I forgot to click apply. Oh, my bad. I was like, wait, where did everything go? I just thought I had to click apply. Anyway. There we go. Also, if you are curious about the numbers, like why they look like this, well, back then, again, they supposed to be very regular, quote unquote. I don't know why I chose the suffix or the mutation for inanimate. God knows what made me choose that. But due to how like weird patterns there were, the numbers ended up looking like this. Which, by the way, I don't mind. It actually looks very funny and also looks very interesting. So I actually don't mind the numbers looking like absolute gibberish. And yeah, got Keto. There we go. So, oh, that's pretty nice. There are a lot of their selves like similar to others. Like I can fuse a bunch of them. Let's go. Could you talk about the sound changes? It's the part I even got better at. Don't take my word for sound changes, but sure, I will show you like these are the old type of sound changes I did. So let's look at East, for example, right? And I'm gonna also track examples. I'm gonna move this up to the top so that I can see it better. So let's look at one of the example sentences. Okay, let's look at this first one. I'm running with the shelter. Don't ask why it's like that. Incorrect translations, but a coisa calcária hiukededu. That is how it originally pronounced. Now, for East, is it East? East is down there. Oh, okay. Then let's look at West. Sorry. So let's look at West, for example, which is right here. So first thing that West does is that h fuses with the vowel next to it, except in case vowel, and except word initial and finally. These excepts are going to be everywhere. Back then I used to suck a bit at sound changes, but first I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to show, if I have any, I'm going to show some more complicated ones. Although I'm not guaranteeing that there are any complicated ones. I may have deleted them. Doesn't matter. So for example, here, h fuses with the vowel next to it. This is basically that h gets lost between a. But what I wrote here is basically that h gets lost between a consonant and a vowel, and adds compensatory lengthening to the vowel. So something such as yehiu, that I think it turned into yehiu. So the E lengthened. I don't know why that one lengthened. I think it's just the order I did the sound changes in. Anyway, then the next one, palatalization. This is an interesting part. Here's what I suggest taking notes. Palatalization is like one of the most important parts of language development. Now, what I did is t going to ch and d going to j, but there's also other ones that you should remember, such as k can palatalize to ch, for example, or even if it can even palatalize to ch. So there's a lot of choices, and palatalization is basically one of the ways you can bring much more sounds into the language and much more phonetics. Anyway, so T and a vowel and D and the vowel goes to ch and the vowel and j and the vowel, except the vowel is E, of course. Which I'm not sure what the decision behind it was. In reality, you only want to shift the consonant and the vowel can stay. And how do you come up with a sound change? Mostly like just take it out of the top of my head and just like think like like mostly I just look at words and think like, how could I make them look more interesting? And I will demonstrate that in a second. So there's also this. Anyway, there's was fusing. This is not really a sound change. This is just rather fusing and grammar change. But talking about interesting sound changes, I'm gonna talk about one. So here it is. This one. It's very funny. Short vowels lost between stops, except in the last or first syllable. This is on Modernese. But take a word such that, I don't know. We're already at all these, so I'm gonna take a word something such as Mákot. Now, Mákot on its own, the O should get lost because it's between stops, but it's in the last syllable, so it doesn't get lost. But since we have case marking, I'm just gonna make up a case marking here. So if like something like Mákot se or Mákot te, for example, then this O will disappear because it's no longer in the last or first syllable, but it's between stops, right? So then you got, actually we can just have a long yeah, doesn't matter. So now if you look at it, the base form is Mákot, but when you conjugate it with anything really, it becomes Mákt. So this is the base form, and Mákt is the conjugation form, which is interesting because this is, I think, what Russian does with its words like день, right, which means day. Now день, for example, when it's, I think when you say something like the days or like in the genitive, I think it turns into dnia. So the yeah in there disappears, which I'm guessing is the same thing happening like that in word final syllables. Like in some case, short vowels got lost, but if it was in like if it was like a one syllable word, it didn't. I don't know. Don't trust my word on that. But either way, that's something like Russian does. So anyway, how I come up with sound changes again is like I look at it and like, how could I make this more interesting or even naturalistic? Something like úszoromker, úszoromker. Now here you can see that m and k are next to each other. Now obviously there is this thing of nasal assimilation such that m will go to n. Now here technically m just assimilated with k because of some decision I made. I don't know, it was 10 p.m. at the time, so I was pretty tired by that time. Anyway, 1 second. Shit, I spilled my coffee. 1 second, guys. Anyway, so almost the app is just like coming up with some changes that make the language more interesting. Now, the thing is that you can only see one line here, which is like how it's spelled and how it's pronounced. It's my romanization. But I'm gonna show you some examples. Now I'm gonna turn off window capture. Don't leave because this is just temporary. So if I go over to my current project, oh, but I don't want to show that. It doesn't matter. Oh, wait, I don't have examples. Okay, never mind. I'm not showing anything. It doesn't have examples. Don't mind me. I forgot that I kind of restarted it like pretty recently. Anyway, so there I did something like there is a written versus spoken writing, where basically the writing isn't always up to date. This is a very important part about Conlangs. If you want it to be naturalistic, then you gotta take it that you gotta keep it in mind that like languages 90% of the time, like mostly languages like almost never are like spoken as they are written. Like there will be always some kind of exceptions. Yeah. Well, it sounds like the fifth person documentary was interesting to hear you go over the process. Yeah, I'm trying to be as beginner friendly and all as possible. I'm trying to explain as well as I can. Obviously, I don't have a degree in linguistics. I don't even go to college yet. So, but either way, I'm trying to explain as best as I can. So anyway, now that I went over like how this sound changes, there's also other sound changes. Obviously, something like fortification. Word final h hardens to k. Fortification is basically when weaker sounds like go to more aggressive or stronger ones, like h going to k again. There's also word final w going to l, which kind of is a fortification because w is a pretty weak sound. It's literally a semi-vowel. Then short e between a consonant and a vowel disappears. Y goes to e between short e and the consonant, otherwise it's lost. So basically that's y and e going to long e. Wait, what? Short goes to e between short e and the consonant, otherwise it's lost. Sure. Whatever I said there is probably something that made sense to me back then. M is pronounced n next to t, the n is pronounced next to k. That's nasal assimilation basically. And n goes to n, moving n from allophone to phoneme. N is still an allophone. Okay, so now I'm curious, did I document that? Well, I mean, I can say that technically n exists, but it's more of an n like this. Oh, did I use the correct n there? Yes, I did. So r goes to l between vowels. Not sure what made me decide that. And w goes to v, vowels between v and l are lost. Sure, whatever. A lot of these are like only changes that like I wanted sounds to be phonemic. I wanted a lot of new sounds. So it was kind of like, you know, made up just so that I have more sounds in the language. To be honest, sure, some of these don't really make sense, like especially this like number 8 doesn't make a lot of sense. Number 1 doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm not sure why I said it like that, so God knows. And by the way, the her rule. Oh yeah, so where it goes to this? Yeah, makes sense because it's as like its order of checking. Anyway, now with sound changes explained out of the way, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask me. I'll go over them because in the meanwhile, I also want to progress with this. So I did case marking. I'm looking if any of them are like the same. These are the same. These can fuse. Oh my god! I just realized accusative completely fused. Also, what I'm looking at. Okay, so it's like basically the only distinction is in the instrumental. Wow. What tool do you use for sound changes? Well, I myself use Lexergy, but what you see in the stream right now is SCA2. So I use Lexergy. It is more complicated. It's also, but it's more effective. So you can do a lot more things with it. But SCA2 is easy to understand, I say. But you can do less things with it. SCA2, you can just search up something like SCA2 sound change. It's from Zompist, so it's hold on. It's from Zompist, a guy named Zompist. Lexergy, you can just search up Lexergy SC, so Lexergy SC, and you will find it. So this one you can use if you're more familiar with sound changes and you want to do complicated things such as vowel harmony and all that. But if you want to do like very simple sound changes such as like, I don't know, word final vowel loss, you can do that with SCA2 because SCA2 is also fairly good at doing so. So yeah, there's the answer to your question. Currently what you see is SCA2. I'm not sure how familiar you are with sound changes, but I recommend starting with SCA2. And if you want to move to more complicated things, then definitely recommend Lexergy. Anyway, now that I'm looking at all these interesting things, okay. Well, also I just noticed that it's wait, why did I fuse those? Hold on. My bad. Sorry, I have to rewind because somehow I managed to fuse this with the nominative. So anyway, now back here. Also, I'm just gonna leave this SCA2 for anyone wondering. I'm just gonna leave this like as a side note. I'm just gonna type this out. Hold on. Still in the astronomical phase of my bird crash. I can't keep those in mind when I got to Conlang. All right, that's fine. Sure, that's fine. I mean, to be honest, world building. I do have a world, but I don't know where the langs are gonna be yet. So, since I don't even have one that's done. Either way, I didn't get into world building as much. But it's probably gonna be I'm just gonna be probably like a bit lazy with world building and more concentrate on the language. It's probably gonna be like, it's still Earth, just with different geography and still humans, but whatever. Anyway, so now that we have this, we have the case markers all fused and all. That's good. Okay. So here's the noun, not prepositions, but noun cases. I always say verb linking is just applied science. Yeah, true. That's true. Okay. Also, I should probably add that these are now... Okay. This is gonna be a long process. Although I can just use this. Hold on. Control H, find N space, and replace it with a dash. Wait, hold on. Can I redo that? Because I'm pretty sure that I didn't... Oh no. I didn't say that it's case specific. There we go. So N space, there's a dash. Replace on. There we go. Also, I can just say that space is deleted. Okay, there we go. So, case markers fuse. They fuse very late, so the possessor. Now I'm gonna just leave the possessor there. So, because it's important. Actually, I don't know why I didn't document that possessor. Okay, I'm just gonna write this down. That possessor after possessee. So then I can just Control H, find N space, and replace it with nothing. In fact, I can just remove large P to replace with that. Replace all. There you go. So. This is just written down here temporarily because I didn't make a grammar sheet for the East, like Old East, but doesn't matter. Anyway, voila, case marking, yippee, we have case marking. Very good, they're very random, and the best thing is that I said that right over here in the East, yeah, causing genders to get lost. I think you already see from the numbers that no, they didn't get lost. It's just that they're completely random. Because yes, nouns did lose their gender, at least the obvious, like the signs that they are some gender, unless it ended in CCV where it kind of just retained this gender, but doesn't matter. Either way, most of the genders were lost, and the rest were like completely like random and stuff. So yeah. Now, also I'm gonna move this right over here. So, now that we have all these beautiful case markings, I can finally do the pronouns. Only slight issue. Pronouns are gonna get very long, especially in the plural. So what I'm thinking is that I'm just gonna I'm gonna say that alt-o-m-h, alt-o-m-ha, so that there's more space. And now we're gonna do all the cases. Nominative, accusative, genitive, there's no dative, genitive, causal final, instrumental, commentative, locative, superassive, vocative, that's 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great, I don't even have enough space. Alright, doesn't matter, I'm just gonna there, insert that many to the right so that we have space, and let's go. So then that's one, how many is this? 10. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. YPA. Now we can do the names. Accusative, genitive, we get causal final, instrumental, commentative, so calf, ins, com, lock, inessive, subter, voc. Lock, inna, subter, voc. Lock, inna, subter, no, ter, lock. Yippee, yay. Alright, all the cases, all that's left to do is to apply the actual markings. And I just realized that my columns are probably going to be very short. I'm going to turn this into a square. Okay, let's just swap places. So, oh, no. Okay, hold on. There we go. Move pronouns under, and then move this right over here. Okay, I'm gonna move this right out of the way. Also, again, possessor after noun. I was just saying noun, but obviously I mean the possessee. So I'm gonna do like this very grid type of stuff. So I'm probably gonna do like multiple ones. Like, so here's gonna be wait, no, hold on. Dang, because there are some very long markings like mitemtam. That's not that short. So I'm probably gonna do like 2, 3, and then probably copy it over like this and do something with this blank space. Maybe just leave it black like this, and that will give us 9. And then how many do we have? This is 11. Oh dear, those numbers didn't come in the correct order. Anyway, so nominative, accusative, genitive, causal final, instrumental, commentative, locative, inessive, superassive, and then terminative, no, and vocative. Did I turn on caps lock? No, okay. So these are all the cases, and now I can do, also I can give them outlines. which is probably a good idea. Can I do like multiple at the same time, like this? Hell yeah, I can. Good. So, accusative just attaches sem. Oh wait, hold on, I forgot that there are some pairs. I forgot the pairs. Ooh, wait, hold on. Plural is gonna be funny because plural marker fused later. Okay, this is gonna be a bit of a slow process, but wait, I forgot that one too. Okay. Then genitive. I think markings default to the masculine, but only if it's like first or second person. So these ones are gonna be animate, yeah, these ones gonna be inanimate, so let's go. So genitive, mitem tam, yay, long ass marking for the win. Anyway, and then animate masculine, that still takes this one. Then animate feminine takes this one, and then inanimate, which is defaulting to masculine, takes this one again. So, oh, I forgot the tabulator. Oh Jesus, oh my god, I barely fit in here. I barely fit into this cube. This is not good. Okay. Am I gonna even fit in here? Oh dear Jesus. Oh dear Jesus, I just barely fit into these cubes. Oh no. Oh dear. Well, this is not looking good so far. Although I'm pretty confident that these are gonna shorten significantly because Modern East has like 29 sound changes, and I'm pretty confident that if something like, where is it, examples, so something like okosekomker can go to oski, I'm pretty sure that the pronouns are also gonna shorten. Okay, causal final. I even forgot what causal final is, but okay. Oh, it has distinction. Oh no. That's not good. And it also has gender and animacy based distinctions. Oh no. Also, technically only animate feminine is different. I mean, sure. Okay. Alright, so here we are, right? So singular, we default to animate masculine. So I am not sure which one to use here. Now, hair is also the default. I'm guessing it defaults to high. So some will be kertar. What was this to lower? To lower was tem, so that is also high. Dwerchod, which was terkot is dwerchod originally, so that was high as well. Okot is low. No, O is also. Wait, no, because O is also a neutral vowel. Mers, neutral. And here comes the distinction. Merasta and merosto. And then inanimate singular, that's gonna default to the masculine, which is again the well-known. Okay, so okay and okay. Oh, that depends on which one you used, huh? Oh no. Because there used to be a feminine. Alright, seems like gender distinction isn't actually gone. That's a very sad news. That's some very sad news. Okay, it can move it. Good. So, inanimate splits up into two categories, which are going to be named very funny names, by the way. Oh wait, no. I meant copy. So there's gonna be huh? What happened? I'm just gonna redo the borders. So there's gonna be non-feminine because masculine and neutral fused, and there's gonna be feminine. Feminine. Okay. Nominative, they're the same. In fact, in all of these cases, they are the same. Sweetie, please. Why can I not do that? Why doesn't it let me? Okay, well, whatever he says, sure. So while these are the same, I'm actually thinking now, is Causal Final the only one to do this? Well, oh no, never mind. Because then here we have, oh dear God. Oh, this is way worse than I thought. This is way worse than I thought. Even genitive has a distinction. Oh no. Okay, by the way, genitive. Okay, you're gonna unfuse. Please, unmerge. Oh, what happened? Oh no. Okay, I didn't mean to unmerge those. Those can stay. So, it's gonna be masculine, feminine, and neuter. Why is that bad? In all honesty, I am not the biggest fan of gender. Like, I mean, grammatical gender. Because it is a pain. And I mean pain. I mean, listen, sure, it's specific, it solves like the yaoi problem, you know, that linguists call the yaoi problem. Absolutely W naming scheme, by the way. Either way, it's very annoying to use, especially because on the East language, like even Old East, gender is absolutely random. So there's literally like barely any patterns. Okay. Anyway, in the meanwhile, merge vertically. Fuck you. What do you mean no? Okay, so the nominative is obviously the same, accusative is the same, but genitive already splits up because in genitive, so masculine, inanimate masculine, may I add. Inanimate masculine takes tartor, no, mitamtam, my bad. Animate feminine, oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. So inanimate masculine takes mitamtam, right? But inanimate feminine and neuter take mitamt. So there is no like final part. So this is what it's gonna look like, and of course now these are the same. Oh, and I just realized I have to add all those columns or all those rows to the other ones as well. Yippee yay! Oh Jesus, I'm going insane. Anyway, so now I can just take this and copy paste it into the place of these, and then I can just copy paste this row, pretty much for each of them, because these guys don't even have marking on them. Why didn't I paste it there? I have no clue. So anyway, these guys, just select them and just, you know, redo the borders so that it doesn't look absolutely horrendous. Same for this guy. I think it depends on how gender is implemented. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the old language, it used to be very simple. So animate, masculine or feminine depended on if you took it as an inanimate, what it counted as, or if it was, I don't know, a person's name, then what they are. But in inanimate, there was that masculine ended in consonants, feminine ended in a or a, and neuter ended in e, o, u. So yeah, that was the logic, right? Very nice logic. The only issue is that by now, if you look at the numbers, they already fused a bunch of these aspects, and now the pronouns are doing the same. So it's gonna be hell of a chaotic language, because even if you try to create a sentence, it matters what pronouns you use based on what the proto-language used. So what I'm guessing is that sometime in the modernese dialect, I will have to make like a grammatical reanalysis, which basically like implements a more regular verb conjugation, implements a more regular pronoun and gender system. Probably, I don't know how I'll do it, because I didn't even finish all these yet, but you know, it's about to come. So I was at causal final when I realized my deep mistake. So I already conjugated these guys. Yes, now inanimate. Now inanimate here is gonna be tar, tor in each of every oh, what the hell am I doing? What? Huh? Jesus Christ. Fuse that, and so they just say tar or tor, which is pretty easy to predict, because I know that this is tar and this is gonna be tor, and so tar, tentarmentek, terkottarmentek, okkottarmentek, merstarmentek, merasta, and merosto, akeitar, and okay tor. Okay, nice. Now instrumental is the next one, which kettam, ketta, kettum, ket, and ketto. So it's different in every single possible gender. Great. So obviously we take kettam, because that is the default, because I do not want to make up a default conjugation for all those means. Also, it doesn't matter what it was. So meras. Oh wait, hold on. I'm hurrying. This is gonna be ketta. Then okay, that is gonna be kettum, ket, and ketto. So we got kettum, ket, and ketto. Okay. So that's nice. Now I have to do the plural. So I'm just gonna paste them in. Then here is gonna be, what was it, ketta. So merasketta and merosketta. And then here we only take the cat part as a copy. Okay, catum. Okay, catum. Okay, cat. Okay, cat. Okay, catto. And okay, catto. Okay, nice. That is instrumental. Commutative, ik, ook. That's the only pattern. I think that is very nice, but again, it brings back the old vowel harmony that by now is kind of just disturbed because of the merging of a and o, and also some weird shenanigans probably in the background. So I know that all of these, unless the slash separated ones, so ook, and well, I mean these are the same, right? So they don't only change, which is refreshing to say. Okay, kerik, temik, terkotik, okotik, mersik, merasik és merosszuk, and then akei, ik, and okay, uk. Nice. That is commutative done. Now next one is locative. Locative is akrem okrem, akrem okrem, akrem okrem, akrem okrem, akrem okrem. So it's only akrem or okrem, which yippee because we bring back the same issue with, you know, the old vowel harmony system that doesn't even exist anymore. Does inessive do the same, by the way? Come. Yes. I'm just gonna quickly do like the ones that, you know, do the same thing. Superessive does osek, osuk, okay, no. Osek, osuk, osek, os, osit, osot. Right. No. Terminative does octom, octo, octom, and octo. So in terminative, also, by the way, I should quickly reborder. Just gonna do this previously so that I don't have to care later. Terminative, octom, then octo. Octom for masculine, and for feminine and neuter, it's the same. And then vocative only has animate, so I guess inanimate doesn't even exist in that context. There we go. So it looks something along the lines of that, but it does have vowel stuff. Anyway, now that we pre-made all these borders and shit, let's actually get to the conjugation. So singular, care, okay. We were at locative, which is akrem or okrem. I think I'm gonna take krem onto my clipboard and just... Actually, I could do akrem and just, you know, write whatever I needed. And meros, I think that's okrem, right? Okrem, yes. And then akei akrem and okay okrem. Then let's do these ones. Yay. Oh no, wrong space. Nice. So inessive is the next. Inessive uses kam or kom. Fairly simple. no, 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 no. I'm skipping too far. Alright. Superessive is the next. Osek, osuk, ose, os. Osek, osuk, ose, os. And then osit, osot. Okay. I mean, sure, why not? So let's start. So the first one is osek or osuk. Where's superessive? Here it is. Here's our dear friend. Kerosek. Merasosek and merososuk, I think, right? Weird, because A is supposed to be a neutral vowel, but okay, osek. Oh yeah, no, hold on. Because that should take a feminine marking. Okay, then this one takes osek and osuk, I remember that. And okay, osuk. Okay, now, feminine marking is ose or os. So, ose or os. Wow. What was I smoking like, I don't know, a year ago? No, hold on, that's supposed to have the air. And finally the neuter, which is osit or osot. Which makes much more sense. Oh, Jesus, my back. Alright, nice. Superessive is done. Now we only have 2 cases left, finally. So terminative, that uses octom, octo, octom, octo. Goddamn, that's very repetitive. And in the feminine, it uses octo. And the neuter technically, but they are the same. At least here. Oh, I click Ctrl C on the big nothing. No! Okay, octomentek and okay, octomentek. I am very suspicious that these are gonna fuse, because the only difference is like one geminate versus one normal. So oh, should have stirred my coffee. Jesus. Anyway, vocative is the last. Ekkor or okkor and ekka or okko. Okay, so we got ekkor for all masculine. And then ekka or okko. What was it? Ekka or okko. Okay, that's very straightforward. And nice. We're done with the pronouns. Yippee! And the chart is only like, I don't know, half my screen. Can I scroll so that the entire thing is... Oh my fucking god, yes. I'm taking a screen of this, by the way. That's why I need the whole thing visible. But boom, there we go. So much better. Let's go. Anyway, we are done with pronouns, which look like absolute randomness. Yippee! Now, let's see what else is there. We did noun positions, adjective forming. Now that's the interesting part, because I think I'm not gonna actually move that because it fused on, like, to show you, it fused on, like, at chain. Oh wait, what? Oh, did it only fuse in the west? Oh, adjective forming only shifted there. Oh, okay, I see. Okay. So, we do have adjective forming still. So I'm just gonna copy that over somewhere. Let's go here. Why is the noun? Why does it look like that? Did I have something here that distracted it? Alright, sure. So these, we're gonna color them purple, white text, and these ones are gonna be this color. And all we have to do, luckily, is bring these through our sound changes, which is very simple. No, control, there we go. Got it. Control. Okay. And now we just gotta bring these through the sound changes. So control tab, there it is. No, I don't want to switch that. And we're also gonna put just this placeholder W in here. There we go. And so it's either kerat or korot, serat or sorot, serit or sorot, tam or tom. Very nice. So we got adjective forming transcribed as well. Okay, numbers, I already did numbers. Oh no, verbs. My soul, my God, I can't even speak. Oh, this is gonna be painful. Because, see, verbs have this reduplicated thing, meaning that there's gonna be two forms of every verb. There's gonna be a perfective, which is the reduplicated, and a non-perfective, which is not reduplicated. Oh god. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Okay. Don't matter. Let's do this. So let's copy over. I'm not gonna verb modality. We do need that though. Hopefully modality, I didn't fuse that. I know the tenses, I don't have to paste them in. So, boom, boom, damn. Same goes here. Also, why doesn't this have like a little border around it? That's my question. Oh, I have to select them very carefully. But, there we go. So now we're gonna say that verb dot perfective. Oh, it's gonna make it a link. No. Okay. Verb dash perfective. I know it's supposed to mean affix. Okay, let's look at this. Verb equals perfective. And the regular verb, I'm just gonna leave that because I'm lazy. Actually, you know what? No, I'm just gonna say that this requires. Is that how you type? I don't know. This requires the perfective form of the verb, and then I can just remove this equal sign. And I can say perfective requires the perfective form of the verb. So let me look at the rules again. So subject fuses onto verbs or onto turns mark. Oh, I have to create a gigantic verb conjugation table. Oh dear God, that is gonna be extreme. That's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be a lot. Because you gotta do all those categories and all that. Oh no. Wait, where did never mind. Subject. Where did subject fuse? This fused on before this happened, and this, and this. I mean, that's not a whole lot. Seems pretty predictable. Do I have any pronouns that begin with a y? Only have to look at these ones. No. None of them begin with a y. So that doesn't affect it. Word final CCV goes to CVC, which also affects the pronoun itself, so not like anything special happened, I guess. Word final vowel loss. Well, I mean that means that we'll, like, verbs will probably have. Oh, I just realized that what that means. Say we have an example verb, okay? We have something like metask, like this, or even metaske, my bad, metaske. Now, what this means is that we can also fuse the subject on it, which is going to be care by the time. So that will create. We'll have metaske and metaskeker. But then what will happen is we have word final CCV going to CVC, right? So we get metasek, but this is still the same. And then the rest don't impact it. But if we have some verb like arrow, and again we attach care because why not? So we get arrow and arrow care, which then turns into R and arrow care. So that means that words or verbs, sorry, that end in CCV, well, technically by then CVC, have the last two, like, thingamabobs metathesize before conjugation. And then verbs that end in VCV lose their vowel. So in dictionary, this would look like metasek and R. Now R would have the O there because it, needs the O there. And metasek, metasek will probably be like, I will just do a separate one and say metaske dash. So either that. How do I mark this? Like, I know I could just type out the whole verb, but I'm thinking, how could I mark that you should metathesize those? Hmm. For now, I'm gonna leave it as this. For now, this is gonna stay. But if you have any ideas, and any one of you have any ideas, I'm welcoming to them. So I appreciate any ideas. Meanwhile, verb tenses, I'm gonna actually create a whole new chart. Also, verb modality. Actually, I can just do verb modality as is. Like, I think those are not really impacted by this, so I can just there. Boom. Go back here, and also go an H. So we get mitem, kotom, verb, mateaitam, verb, axor, verb, and keimtemet, verb. All right, that's decent. That's decent. I'd say that's pretty nice. Really, do modalities get impacted anyway? No, they don't. Okay. All right. All right. Then for verb tenses, I'm gonna create a whole table for verb conjugations. And so how I'm gonna split it up is there's gonna be perfective, imperfective, habitual. So there's gonna be, and of course all the persons, because technically, well, I mean, in the nominative there isn't a lot of difference. It only like animate still has distinction, and these have still have distinctions, but inanimate doesn't have a distinction in that case, so I'd call that a win. So I'm gonna say boom, there we go. Unmerge these two. Oh, I cannot unmerge them. I have to unmerge them separately. Like that, and merge this back. Merge this, and then delete and format, clear formatting. And also this is gonna be perfective, if I can type it out. Yeah, this chart is gonna look terrible, but I don't care. I absolutely don't care, to be honest. Couldn't care less. Okay, oh, what? Hold on. No. This goes purple, and the text goes white. Yes. And this is gonna be fused. Purple, white. Also, I can center it probably. So this perfective here is gonna be imperfective and habitual. Oh, Jesus Christ. I already hate how this looks. Oh no. This is gonna look terrible. This is gonna look absolutely terrible. Oh god. I already see it. Alright. Past. Not paste, past. Also, I'm pretty sure that this has to be like one lower due to singular and plural distinction, which later will be singular, dual, and plural. So singular. I have a feeling that these conjugations are gonna be very long. So I'm just gonna do one for now, and I'm not sure how big it will be. So I'm just gonna, meanwhile I'm gonna configure these to be ready for extension. There we go. The perfective will be probably the longest. The perfective past will be the longest, since it uses, you know, that reduplicated goofy form of the verb. So in the past, why did I copy paste like the pronouns in like that title? Why the hell did I do that? Okay, great. I have to redo the entire thing. No problem. Delete. Clear formatting. Yeah, this is still looking very scary and habitual. Got it. I got it. Habitual. So this is, well, which person will be probably the longest? Animate feminine. Animate feminine is gonna be the longest. So we're gonna have a dash. So okuha, that is what actually fused with the pronouns. So what I'm gonna do is take okuha. So let's go to the sound change, and before 7 I'm actually just gonna disrupt all of them by pressing like a 1 in there or something like that. Valid rules found 12. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, fuck, it still recognizes them as valid rules. What can actually make them invalid? Oh, I know. Oh wait, I don't. How do I disrupt it? Maybe like adding 2 slashes at the end, I don't know. Why is it still valid? Why is it still valid? It's not valid. No. Okay. What if I put like an equal sign before this? Or actually, let's test it with the word final vowel loss. Okay, the equal sign unvalidates it, or how would you say, invalidates it, yes. Nice. So now we can stop those from happening. So you get okuko, which is very important for us. So we're gonna have okuko, and then the pronoun after, which in this case is... Oh, we're gonna have to include the slashes, yeah. Meras. Okuko meras. Or the same thing with meros. Okay, so seems like we're gonna fit into 2 tiles. Alright, nice. So singular. Oh wait, plural. Hold on. The plural is probably gonna be longer by at least a whole square, so a whole tile. So I'm probably can extend that. No. Come back. And what we're gonna do? Horizontally merge these. There we go. Looking much better. And I can't click it, Jesus. Okay, nice. So this is just gonna affix okuko, because as far as I see sound changes, okay. Oh, what do you mean corresponding pairs? What do you mean? I don't like the sound of that. Subject fuses onto the verb or tense marker. Oh, the subject. But we already disrupted it. We already disrupted like the vowel harmonies, so I don't know why I put corresponding pairs in there. Who knows? I'm gonna also mark this as purple, which means it's manual. You like to mark these, and purple means, for me at least, purple means manual, so it's a manual change. You cannot really do it with the sound change applier. You can, but it's really annoying to do. So in each case, it's gonna be starting with okuko. Oh! One higher. Oh dear. This is gonna... Wait. What? Wait, this one doesn't even use okuko, this uses kede. This one uses kede. What am I even on about? Wait, I just realized I can use this. I'm stupid, I keep forgetting how this works. Okay, okuko, ker. Then we got tem, terkot, okot mers, and the inanimate is ake or okay. Yay! Wait, I just realized that the imperfective uses the same conjugation, but only the difference is that perfective requires you to use the perfective version of the verb, but imperfective technically and imperfective and perfective technically have the same conjugation. I'm not gonna fuse them into one because they are obviously depend on the person. And then here we got kedeker, kedetem, kedeterkot, kedeokot, kedemers. Then, well, technically this should have two, right? Because you have kedemeras, meras, and kedemeros. And you also have kedeake and kedeoke. Oh, Jesus Christ! This is gonna take ages to finish. And that is only the singular, by the way. No, we're not done yet. No. Silly goose. We're not done yet. Because we also have the plural, which is formed using the memtech. So let me just also here we cannot forget that there's also the other one. No, Jesus Christ! This is a long procedure. Oof. So we're done with the past. This is the past. Now, past has everything, right? Why did I delete it? Okay, verb tenses. I'm just gonna paste in that, like, which ones exist. So, grun, 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 and these two are gonna be red. Purple, white, and close this. So this is just to show me that which ones exist. So past has everything, present doesn't have a perfective, and future doesn't have a habitual. That's pretty understandable. So past, we need a present, which again, as I said, doesn't have a perfective aspect. I think this is aspect, yeah. No, this is tense, this is aspect, yes. So over here in the present imperfective, I think you just take the verb, yeah. So it's just person marking, really. I just realized that I can do this and then select this, Control H, replace this, match case with nothing. Yippee! And we're done like 90% faster. Here we're gonna do the same, except we're gonna use kede, match case, replace all. Yay! Wait, what? Wait, what does it use though? Oh, it uses aquo. Then Control Z, and find kede, replace it with akvo. How does akvo change though? Oko. Okay. So it changes into oko, so we can replace kede with oko. Match case, replace all. Nice. And then we got the future. Okay, future. Future does have a perfective aspect. So we're gonna recolor this back to normal. I'm gonna give it this. Actually, we can just use this one because we can replace the known patterns. No. What? Oh, I only copied the plural. Makes sense. So, nice. It doesn't have a future for habitual, and let's see, what do we have? So we affix uxor. Uxor. How does uxor change? Uxor. Uxor. Okay, it just stays. Okay, great. So in both cases, we can just say okuko and replace it with uxor. Yay! Oh my fucking god. This took way too long. Oh. 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 Okay. We're done with this part. Whew. And I'm not done yet. No, don't you think I'm done yet. No. So we did verbs with tenses, with conjugations and modality. Very sweet, right? Hold on, gotta recalibrate. Pretty nice, right? Well, now comes the... what is it? Lexicon, yes. So, we're just gonna copy every single thing that I have here and copy it over here. Change the coloring of all this to match the rest of the doc. And here comes the funny thing. I have to revamp some of these verbs. First, if I'm removing that IPA section. Romanize. So this is not going to be romanized. This is going to be the non-perfective. And this is going to be perfective. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, nouns don't have nouns don't have any kind of reduplication, right? Yeah, they only have conjugation, which is more regular than tokipona and fucking Esperanto. So unmerge, merge here, and we're gonna delete, format, clear formatting. Nice. Now transitivity, okay. So timdike and perfective is all that is. You reduplicate the last syllable. So timdikeke. Tam. Kedede. Akko. Akvo. Akkor. Aksor. Okuhaha. Vodmit weskwesk. Sachdarkat miu. Ordom sassa. Sa. Tádekeke. Jarúj mumu. Arau tostos. Josedsa. Kosekau. Kau. Deumer. Mer. Kekjerere ra dat rom geen damte te. Okay, extra word is come here. Also, I'm also removing IPA there. It's like I can read my own romanization. Thank you. Luckily, I made my romanization actually, you know, readable. Unlike dollar or or however the hell you pronounce it. I still can pronounce it normally, bro. But I've been practicing that uvular frill, like co-articulated, so I can now say mostly. Anyway, now comes the funny part. So, okay. Up to 7. We need actually up to 8. So we're gonna ignore that. Up to 8. At least for verbs, because we're gonna grab these guys by the neck and input them. Now, okay, were there any that got Woodmeat-esque? Okay. Iosetos. So okay, so I'm just gonna actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna place this in, and then I'm gonna allow this to happen. I'm gonna place this in and see which ones didn't change. Didn't change. This did, so this didn't, this did, so didn't, and this did. Alright, and now we're gonna allow vowel loss to happen, except that, yeah, okay. So vowel loss to happen, and that means that anything that ends in a vowel will have that vowel be parentheses. Except sasa, which only lengthened. So this last vowel. And if I allow the rest to happen, it's only that EO disappears, okay. Yes. It's only that EO disappears next to consonants and vowels. And then perfective, this is the next one, so what we're gonna do, paste them in, and invalidate all these rules using fine. So we get all these. And now we're gonna compare them to a okay? We're gonna compare that. But it is very likely that none of them changed. Didn't change, didn't. Didn't. No. The word final vowel loss and the J, and so this is an this is fine. This has an this has an O, fine, O, fine. This has an A at the end. This has an A at the end. U, no, O, no, an O. And this is an A. All right. So those are verbs. Done. Now the rest of the words are going to be pretty straightforward since they don't change in any other aspect other than the fact that, I mean, actually word final vowel loss does affect them. So word final vowel loss before. So here they are before word final vowel loss. And paste them in, and then do the rest. So didn't change. Oh no, that did. No. No. Wait, but no, that doesn't make sense because if you think about it, case marker is only fused after all the changes took place. So that means that actually no. Here we go. There we go. We have all of them. Okay, nice. Extra wordies, they are again treated the same way. Everything can happen to them. Same for question words. So these aren't really affected. So nice. Yippee-yay! We did lexicon too. Wait, does that mean we're done? Are we done? There's no way. Did we actually do everything? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I actually did everything. It is done. I did it. I finished doing Old East. Oh goodness. Holy shit. Well, this is a certainly a nice feeling that I finished Old East. Now, what I'm thinking, what should I do? I think I'm gonna look into Modern East, and maybe I'm gonna stream again about that. Although I'm thinking that I might actually go eat first because I am pretty hungry and I haven't eaten not even breakfast. My breakfast is literally just coffee. Oh wait, I just forgot that spilled there as well. Oh no. Hold on. Hold on. Alright, good. Cleaned up. No problem. So I'm thinking at looking at Modernist, maybe adding a bit more changes, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Anyway, for anyone that tuned in, literally anyone, I don't care, you watched it for 3 seconds, you watched it for half an hour, doesn't matter. For anyone who visited into my live stream, I want to thank you massively because it is really an honor for me to see that people actually, people are interested in what I do. Especially JG Online, you're an absolute sweetheart for asking questions and giving your opinion. So thanks for everyone tuning in. I'm probably gonna go eat lunch and then come back maybe. So see you all then. Until then, have a good day, good night, good morning, whatever the time is at